2006 Ford Mustang with a 4.0 V6. I'm going to do a right rear axle shaft seal. First you want to do is block your wheels, put the vehicle on neutral, turn the key back off so you don't drain the battery down, and then you want to raise the vehicle and support it properly. Once you got the vehicle supported, you can remove the tire on the side that you're going to replace. And this one is going to be the right side. Then you're going to want to remove the caliper assembly. I'm going to take off the caliper first and then the bracket. If you're going to take the caliper off, then you need to remove the two 13mm caliper bolts. 13mm head. Okay? And then you want to get a screwdriver in there and pry the caliper up. And get it off of there and place it aside so you can get to the caliper bracket bolts. Caliper bracket bolts are 15mm. Take them out. And now you get your bracket. Here's your bracket. Don't lose the clips. Keep an idea where they're at. And also check to make sure that the slide pins move freely, which this one does not. So you'll need to replace this bracket or free this up and put some lube in it. What I do is I'll heat it up and then I'll get a wrench on there and I'll move it back and forth, or I'll put this in a vise and I'll heat this up and try turning the whole bracket and try not to burn the boot. Once you get it out, then you can put some more Seal Glide on it and clean it up. Next you want to do is remove your rotor. If your rotor is bonded onto the axle, then you'll need to put spray with some penetrant. Let it sit a little bit and smack it with a hammer in between the studs. Do not hit the studs with the hammer. You'll mess the threads up. Next you want to remove all the rear end cover bolts and leave the top one loose. And then you can stick a screwdriver underneath the cover and the housing and pry it away a little bit and let the fluid drain. And once you get the most of it drained out, then you can remove the top bolt and take the cover off. Now here's the reason why you want to have it in neutral, because you got to find the pin, the bolt that removes out of this case, so you can remove this side gear pin. So I need to turn it till you see it. All right, there it is, an 8mm. Remove that bolt. Put a wrench on it, hit it with a hammer, small hammer, and break it loose. And unthread it. It's a little long one, and hopefully it isn't broken inside there. There's the bolt. It's a long pin with threads on it. If it was busted off in there, it'd be half that size and you'd be able to pull it out. The only way you can pull the pin out now is by removing that right cap. Bearing cap right there. But we don't need to take it all the way out. So all we need to do is push that pin right there from the other side out towards us. You don't have to take it all the way out. Just leave it out hanging out a little bit, just enough that you can push the axle in and drop the C-clip out. All right, you got the pin out. You got this pin. Just rotate the whole assembly up a little bit so you can see up in there. Pull this pin out. Now you don't need to turn it in anymore. Now you can see the end of the axle. And what you do is you push the axle in. See it? And you get yourself a magnet. Reach up in there for the button. Sometimes you'll have to push the axle in farther to get the button undone. Let's see if we can get the drop. Yeah, there it is. You have to get that button to drop. So you have to push the axle in, and it keeps popping back out. So I need to have one hand on the button with the magnet and the other hand pushing the axle in. So I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, the button's almost out. I'm gonna push the axle in. See it fall out? C-clip. There it is. And that goes in the end of the axle, underneath the button. So now you come over here and you just pull the axle straight out. Try not to damage your seal if you're gonna keep the seal in there. And there's the button that the C-clip goes into, okay? If you're doing this to replace the seals, now's the time to replace the seal. And if you're doing it to replace the bearing, then you'll have to remove the bearing. Now's the time to do it. But if you're doing it because you got to replace the axle, that's fine. Replacing the axle. But if you're doing it to replace the seal, then you want to inspect your axle right where the bearing rides and make sure that it's not flaking. Has chatter marks on it or little pits, okay? And this one looks good. But I'm replacing this axle because it's bent. You hit a curb, okay? If you're replacing the axle, make sure you put them up together. Make sure they're the same length. Make sure they look the same. Make sure yours is good, like here. You don't want to put a faulty one in. And make sure it's the same length. Looks a little short, so now I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay, earlier I had too short of an axle. That's because I had the left axle. They gave me the wrong one. 3 weeks later, I had to get a whole rear end housing and I had to take it apart and take the right axle out of it. So now I got the right axle, okay? Before I said I couldn't get the pin out, well, I got an extra pin that holds that shaft in there. So this is what it looks like. Sometimes they bust off right about here and then you gotta use a little magnet or a pick and pick them out, okay? All right, so got your axles cleaned up. Put some grease on your axle, put a new seal in it, pop the old seal out with a pry bar and then tap the new one in and put some grease on the seal. And then you're ready to put this one in. And when you push it in, make sure you don't turn the axle itself because then you'll be turning the side gear and the spiders inside there. And you don't want to misalign them because the shaft is out. It allows them to turn when that's out, okay? Put the axle in there like that. And then what you want to do is you want to pull down the axle and it lifts the other end up of the shaft, and then you can pull it into the housing. And then once it goes in there, then you just pick up on this axle a little bit here and push it up in there. And then you want to turn it just a little bit and it goes in. And now you can put the C-clip in. Just make sure the button on the end of the shaft, the button is sticking out far enough that you can get your C-clip in, okay? There's no right or wrong way to put this in. You can just see the marks of where they were before, which is fine. So the flat will go in. So you stick your finger up in there and you feel the slot. And then you put the C-clip in there, push it down in there. If you can't get the C-clip in far enough, just tap it with a hammer with a block of wood and push the axle in just a little bit more. And then when you do, you get the C-clip in there, push it in there, and then you can just push the axle out. And if it's not going in all the way, then the axle won't come. See? See it? That's it. Now you can put that shaft back in there. Make sure your spiders didn't move. Stick your finger in there, you can feel them. It won't be blocking the hole. You want to put this shaft in there so you got the hole there for that pin bolt. Push it up in there. Push that in there, okay? All right, so now you can tighten this one up. Just tighten it up. Get it all the way up in there snug. Put your box end wrench on. Just tap on it with the end of your hammer a little bit. Just a regular ball peen hammer. Hit on the wrench just a little bit. It's good and solid. You'll hear it. It's good enough. All right, when you clean this surface up, you want to throw a rag over the whole ring gear assembly in the case. Just tuck it up in there, tuck it around the bottom. Clean it up really good. And then take your rag off and put some brake clean, spray it out with some brake clean. And then make sure you wipe out the bottom inside here. Make sure there's no debris in there, any metal or anything. And make sure this surface is nice and clean. Same thing with your cover. I'm gonna use silicone. And I'm gonna let it cure overnight. So in the morning I can put some gear lube in it. And next you're gonna come over to your axle. Pull on it and make sure that it is locked in there. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna put the rear end cover on. And as I'm putting that on, I'm gonna use sealer. And as I'm putting it on, I'm gonna snug it up. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my brakes back together. And then when I'm done with my brakes, then I'm gonna come back to my rear end cover. And I'm going to torque it down, but I'm not gonna bear down on it. I'm just gonna torque it down because I don't want to squish all the sealer out of there. Okay, I put the sealer on a circular motion. Evenly distributes it pretty good. I use Ultimate Gray from JB Weld. I like that the best. All right, if you're gonna do this job and you haven't gotten an axle yet and you cannot find an axle, Yukon Axle makes an axle. You can get it through Amazon, and here's the axle number. And this is for the right side, because the right side is the one that's the hardest to find. And it's discontinued at the dealer. So that's the axle number, and that's the sealer I use. And that's the cover, and that's how I put it on. So now I put it up in there and I'll start all my bolts and snug them up. All right, clean your axle up. Make it nice and smooth. No rust chunks on it because you don't want them high and low spots and cause your rotor to vibrate like that and give you a pulsation. And then put some anti-seize on it. And make sure your rotor is good and clean on the inside of that surface. And then you can put your rotor on. Rotor's on, and then I'll put a pair of vice grips on to hold the rotor tight up against there. And now you put your brakes back together. Make sure your slide pins aren't frozen. These are solid, frozen stiff. So I got lucky because I had to buy a whole new housing and it came with the rear brakes calipers on them, so I'm taking one of the used ones that I had to take off. So these aren't frozen, so I'm going to use these. Make sure you put your button clips hardware back on here. Make sure that surface is clean. And you clean it up, and then I put some paint on them. Got your caliper brackets on. Snug your bolts up. Those are the 15mm head ones, and tighten them to 70 foot-pounds. And then you want to put your abundant clip hardware back in there. And put your pads on. Or the pads stay with the caliper. But anyway, put these in there and put your caliper on there with your pads. All right, I had my pads in there, and I had a tool installed there to keep them tight because I had to drive this vehicle off my rack. But anyway, my piston came out a little bit more, so now I got to push the piston back in a little bit so I can get it on here. So I need one of those piston pusher entertaining tools. There's the caliper tool. and as you twist the piston in, you turn it, and it twists the boot. So what I'll do is I'll stick a screwdriver in there and put some penetrant on it to allow it to slip and slide, and hopefully it helps it out. Okay, now that you push the piston in far enough that you can get your caliper on there with your pads, and then your caliper slide pins, there's a flat spot, okay? Make sure the flat spot goes towards the rotor under that flat spot. And now you can put your head on the top and on the bottom one, okay? And then you can put your caliper bolts in there and snug them up. And then you want to tighten them to 25 foot-pounds. Okay, now that you get your caliper bolts torqued, now you can put some anti-seize on your wheel studs, and then you can put your wheel on and tighten it to 100 foot-pounds. Then you go back underneath and you can finish snugging up your rain cover bolts. So you want to just tighten them up by hand. Don't want to bear down on them, but you want them to tighten them up, okay? I'd say about maybe 18 foot-pounds. All right, the next day, in 12 hours, I let the silicone cure. Now on the front driver's side of the differential is your fill plug. Looks like that. 3/8 square drive. Clean it out. Make sure you don't have no dirt in it. Put some penetrant on it. Let it soak. Sometimes these are in there pretty good. Make sure you use at least a 1-inch extension on your ratchet to get to it. And it's right there. It's on the driver's side, front, okay? That's why I say you need to get an extension. So I can go past that little ledge sitting there. All right, take it out. It's got a magnet on it. Clean the magnet off. And now you can fill your fluid. You wanna fill it, keep filling it. Probably, I don't know how many yet, but at least 3 quarts. And when it's coming out pretty good, pouring out, put your plug in and let it sit. Let it sit for like 15 to 30 minutes, because what you want it to do is you want it to bleed past the bearings and go inside the axle tubes. Okay, so you'll get enough fluid in it so it evens itself out. And when you then take the plug back out, and if nothing comes out, pour some more in until it's overflowing. Put your plug back in and do the same thing over again and let it sit so it evens itself out through the tubes, through the bearings, okay? And then after like 15-30 minutes, take the plug back out, and if it's coming out, let it come out until it comes out to a little fine stream. Then you can put your plug back in. But if it's still low, add more and let it sit again and do the same thing. So once you get the fluid level correct and it's just coming out into the little stream, put the plug in and snug it up. This is a pipe thread, so the more you thread it in, the tighter it gets, okay? All right, and that will complete your rear end. And this takes 75/90 synthetic, okay? And that's it. And then make sure when you lower back down to the ground, you pump your brake pedal up to make sure you got a good firm pedal before you put it in drive and reverse. If I helped you with this axle, that's great. Maybe you can help me by subscribing. And I thank you, and good luck.